and I didn't put a face mask on, and Scott's fast pitch hit me right in the mouth, knocking out a bunch of my teeth, shredding my lips, and it was unpleasant. It must have been. It was the look on the coach's face. Mr. Bledsoe was alarmed enough that it must have looked very bad too. So he ran and got me a bandana and shoved it in my mouth and called my parents, and Mom took me down to the hospital, which I assume was probably right up here, Annapolis Hospital, the emergency room, and I had to pee. So when I headed towards the bathroom, my mom told me I should probably not look in the mirror. And I was curious enough that I wanted to look in the mirror, and I recall looking in the mirror, but I don't have, you would think that I would have a vivid memory of what I saw in the mirror, of my shredded lips and my bashed in teeth, but I have no memory whatsoever. So perhaps it was traumatic enough that I blocked it from my memory. Maybe they could, maybe I could retrieve those memories through some sort of post-hypnotic treatment of some kind. So we've got the Wayne County Department of Environmental Health here to the right. They were real busy during the COVID pandemic, testing people and giving shots right through people's car windows into their arms. And they regulate, of course, the body art trade. And I'm going to turn left here. This is kind of a historic corner too. There was some sort of aircraft manufacturer on the left. I wish I could remember the name. I think, and they may have been loosely affiliated with Garwood Industries. I'm not sure. But anyway, we're headed up, or west, I should say, or no, I'm wrong. We're headed east on Van Born Road. And I guess I'm going to have to stop because people are turning left. Now we're approaching a really shitty intersection. And I say it's shitty because I have been in an accident in this intersection. Nick has been in an accident in this intersection. I have seen cars overturned in this intersection. I've seen hits and near misses at this intersection. I don't know what it is about this intersection of Merriman and Van Born that makes it so effed up. But I'm always on extra alert when I come through this intersection. Maybe it's the liquor store on the corner that contributes to this. You know, maybe people are drunk when they're coming in or out of that place and should not be behind the wheel. I don't know. Maybe they're not drunk, but they're so excited at the imminent purchase of their liquor that they neglect their driving skills. We're coming up another historic intersection of Henry Ruff and Van Born, where a Rush greenhouse is and was. And historically, there were a lot of bodies turned up here at this intersection. Usually, you know, killed somewhere else locally and then dumped. I don't know why it was so popular. It must have been more remote in previous times in history. Alright, so it's a little further along. I'm on Van Born, approaching Beach Daly Road in Dearborn Heights. And I'm going to be taking you right south to Ecorse Road where the shop is. So it looks like I'm getting stopped at another light, which is going to make for some thrilling video footage. Why don't I I'll cut through the Lube Express parking lot and spare the motionless waiting at the light. And if they try to ticket me for doing it, I'll let them know I was doing it all for you, the viewer. So you didn't have to sit there, be waiting for the light to change. So we're south on Beach Daily. I could go all the way to the light, but there's a back route that I prefer because I don't have to sit at waiting for it to change. But we're going to go underneath I-94 first. That's coming up here any moment. And this sometimes floods pretty severely when it's raining. Thankfully it's not flooded now. Then there's a little back street off to the left up here that I'm going to take to get up to Ecorse, take a left so I don't have to deal with the major intersection. So I'm sure the people who live on these the little back streets are annoyed with people like me who are using their little residential street as a shortcut. But sorry about that, people. I don't know what else to say. Not sorry enough to not do it. But yeah, I'll bet people whip through here at unreasonable speeds and drunk at night and stuff, and trying to make that turn might end up in one of these people's yards, which would be annoying, I have to admit, if I lived back there. So we're approaching Ecorse Road, right across from the Department of Human Services building. It used to be some sort of electrical building. Road here is kind of rough. Some potholes that I've learned to navigate. But occasionally they take me by surprise. Generally, if I stay in the left lane until the last minute, I can avoid the worst potholes and change lanes right about here. Coming right up on the shop. As you can see, the bulbs inside of our sign are starting to burn out. The top one's the only one working. And it's such a pain in the ass changing bulbs in that thing, taking the plexiglass off and putting it back on, that we just do it infrequently. So we're coming up on the front of the shop. As you can see, that's my painting I did in the front window years ago. I don't remember how many years, but it's sort of like a roses making up a nuclear explosion, a mushroom cloud with barbed wire and two coil type tattoo machines. So yeah, here we are.